It's been more than 3 years and my game is still not finished. Why? Being burned out, having spaghetti code and wanting multiplayer are some of the points, but let me go through the whole process. Back in January of 2022, I published my first video where I made a Super Smash Bros. Clone called PushOver. However, it turned out this clone didn't actually feel like a clone, but like an actual game I would play myself. So I made another video a couple months later, improving the game by adding the ability to play against the computer. Because, well, I didn't have any friends to play my own game with. After this update, I published the game to itch.io and thought that would be the end of PushOver. I thought I finished it. But after more than a year of not working on PushOver, I decided that I wanted to make a game with a Steam release. A real game. But I decided to not start a completely new project. No, I wanted to continue working on PushOver and actually turn it into a full game to publish on Steam. In a new video I explained my plans for the game. I wanted to add items, online multiplayer, a single player campaign and more content in general. Totally not too much to want for a first game. And 2 months later I published another video regarding PushOver, where I added items and a dash ability, which was pretty cool gameplay wise. But after this video I did not really post anything regarding PushOver anymore. Until a couple months ago. After 1.5 years of silence, I decided it was time to post an official trailer for PushOver, saying it would release in 2025. And now we are here, after more than 3.5 years of work. Where is PushOver? And why does it take so long to develop? Well, let me tell you. So why did it take so long? Because 3.5 years is a very long time. Most modern Pokemon games are made faster. But maybe that's not a fair comparison, because you can kinda tell. It is clear that a lot can be done in this time span, but my game does not really look like it has 3.5 years of time in it. Well, that makes sense, as that is indeed not the case. The first version was made in around 2 or 3 weeks time. The second version with the AI took a little longer, but I had many different other projects in between the 2 videos. And after that video I basically did not touch PushOver at all, for more than a year. And besides all of this, I'm a student, which means I have to, well, study. And this makes the time I have in a week for game development not that much. But besides not having a lot of time, where else did I go wrong? Scope creep is a term that is often used for indie developers. It means that a developer wants to make something too big. I don't really think I have scope creep with PushOver. Okay, maybe a little bit. As I said, I plan to make an entire single player campaign. Yeah, I scrapped that. Not happening. But one thing I really wanted to add was multiplayer. Boy, was that a mistake. I mean, it fits really well in the game, and it would probably be weird if it was not in the game, but I had no prior experience working with multiplayer, so that is a mistake on itself. I basically started working on adding multiplayer after I added items to the game, which is a pretty long time ago. And it sucked. Sometimes multiplayer stuff makes no sense at all. Like if you think coding is magic, then this is dark magic. If Voldemort was a game developer, he would probably use it. And as I said, I did not work full time on this, so it took a really long time to add. But it works, I think. Another mistake was using the code that I made in the beginning of PushOver, from more than 3 years ago. That I made with not a lot of knowledge on programming. And I kept using that code.
What's that?
Yeah, big mistake. I should have made everything from scratch when I wanted to make it into an actual game. But I did not do that. And that was really stupid, because now it's a complete mess of spaghetti code. But it's too late to change that now. And I'm stuck with it. Forever. Enough crying about my mistakes though. Where is PushOver now? Well, I'm still planning on releasing it this year. I'm almost done with finalizing all the features, which means I can add more content, like adding more maps, maybe some more items and characters, but just no more new features. And after adding all the content I want, there will probably be some time for polishing and for marketing, but that's it then. Then it's ready for release. I will probably try to market the game more, as I did not do it much lately, and it's very important to do so. So you will probably see more of PushOver in the upcoming weeks or months, depending on how long it will take. And at the point of release, the game will have local play, multiplayer support. There are currently 6 characters with different abilities, 10 items and 4 maps, but the goal is to get those numbers up, of course. In local play you can also play against the computer with pretty good AI, I think. It's actually a bit challenging sometimes. And you can choose to play with lives or with a timer. At the start of development I wanted to add so much more, but I'm just one guy trying to make a game without any actual experience. This whole process was pretty messy, but I've also learned a ton. Most mistakes I will probably never make again. I have started writing code that is future-proof, more separate systems that can be reused in other games or other projects. I added more comments to tell future me what the code does. Because sometimes I'm really trying to read some old code and I just don't get it. But the biggest thing I've learned is I will never add multiplayer again. Ever. But now PushOver is in its final stretch. And thank you for being here. Some of you even since the start maybe. You can wishlist PushOver on Steam. And make sure to keep an eye out, because I will reveal the release date probably pretty soon. And it will hopefully not be 2026.